Hi guys, and welcome back to part 2. As soon as I opened this dragon, I knew there had to be 2 parts because there's just so much to say about this dragon. I also want to apologize in advance because there are going to be very many cuts to this video. It's a very windy day today and it's just so much noise, and I've reshot these videos so many times actually. I'm just gonna have to keep cutting each time the wind gets a bit too much, okay? So, first thing about the wing, I want you to notice the very fine structure of this wing. We have seen detail before. We've seen scales, we've seen veins, but this is something different. It's very fine, almost thin, and befits such an ethereal looking creature. Something very delicate about the wing membrane here. Now, if you look at the hand structure on the underside of the wing, most dragons have a very obvious finger structure kind of sculpt, but on this dragon, you do see some structure. You see the beginning of the wing fingers, but as it proceeds downwards, it blends so seamlessly with the membrane, it almost disappears, and that adds to a feeling of softness. You know the structure is there, but it's very subtle in keeping with the rest of the dragon. Now on the other side is where the fingers are a little bit clearer, but look at what they've done here. Each wing finger is very slender, but you'll see these etchings here, and each knuckle here is very well defined. Now it's detail like this that didn't really have to be there, but it just shows you nothing was skimmed when they were planning this dragon. And that's what I really like about this dragon too. Looks simple at the start, but then the closer you look at it, the more detail you see. As for paint application, if ever there was a time I wish for a better video setup, it would be now. Sure, overall it's purple, but if you look at the blends and the washes from dark to light and then back to dark again, you'll notice there isn't just one color scheme. There are very many different layers. If you catch the lighting just right, you see very faint whitish streaks. You also see on the top of the wing a mottled type of pattern, black pattern in this time. Reptile wise, it looks like a northern red salamander, but I can't help also being reminded of the cheetah, which is in a way fitting considering how sleek and slender this dragon is. You know, you just cannot help but appreciate the amount of thought and effort put into creating this. Even if you don't know the technical terms to describe each technique, I certainly don't. But you'll see, like, you know, on the underside, a little bit of an orange blend here on this membrane here, on this part of the membrane. You see whitish streaks going across, holding at different angles, and you'll really appreciate that there are many different layers to the color work. If I look, you know, even the claws, the claw tips here, the blacks here balance out the blacks over here. It's just you know, without I don't really want to be exaggerating this, but looks like a piece of it looks like a piece of art to me. Anyway, before this threatens to become a video review of the Series 5 Eternal Dragon Wings, I'd better move on. Actually, I just wanted to sneak in a couple more observations about the wing. One thing that I just noticed is the edges of the wing membranes have this raggedy look, right? It's not perfectly smooth. That gives you the idea that you've got tears that come from years and years of use and perhaps abuse. And that really adds to the organic look of this creature. This is a wing that has been used. The second thing is these ribs here, these fingers here, they all converge to this area here, and I just love the detail on this thing because this looks like, alright, the back of my hand, you see these tendons, right? And these look like just raised tendons, or they could be metacarpals. You know, it's just whatever it is. That amount of detail really makes it insane. Alright, so this is a very nice wing indeed. Hey, unfortunately, we now come to something that I'm a bit two ways about. And you've probably guessed that I'm talking about the Dragon Rider here. Surprisingly, as far as human figures in the McFarlane series go, this really isn't bad. It actually has quite nice detailing. You can see. And at this scale, it's pleasantly surprising they were able to do a much better job than they have with some of the other human figures we've seen included with dragons. And having a rider, of course, gives us an opportunity to have this very nice linked chain here, which has not rusted in spite of its age and is a very nice coppery color. It's very nice looking. And also the saddle is very nicely detailed here. But why I kind of don't like this is that it spoils the naturalistic feel of this diorama. You know, this could have been a depiction of a dragon proud and flying free and in a world yet untouched by humans. And having a rider here just changes things around a little bit. And I don't like the thought of this majestic creature under anyone's command. So I'm going to fix the wings. Here. They go in very easily, unlike the other McFarlane dragons. And one thing you'll notice is that because you've got two separate wings, you can have a very dramatic spread of these wings. You know, I think it was a very smart move to include both wings separately because the assembled dragon now isn't constrained in pose or wing spread. In the other dragons I can recall so far, only one wing is usually separate, and even that for the sole purpose of getting it to fit into the bubble. This dragon is free to spread his wings to their full glory, which you would really need to depict flight, and the effect is nothing short of majestic. Now let's talk about the base. I mentioned before when I was doing the Komodo, the Series 5 Komodo, that each of the Series 5 dragon is really a diorama, like a model playset. They have included humans in each of their dragons to create a sort of 3D scene, as you may recall from the Series 5 Water Dragon. Now here, the base is part of a forest. The idea is a good one, but the execution unfortunately is lacking. This is what I mean. The detail, there isn't a lot of detailing. If you look at these tree trunks here, let me try to get a close-up. The trunks are rather smooth, and I think more detailing could have been done here. What's a little disturbing to me is that the forms of the trees all look so similar. They look way too identical to be organic, and all are branching off almost on the same plane. The floor shows exposed roots, some other nice detail like fallen logs, rocks, but I just feel a little more could have been done here. Fortunately, the tree crowns are all different, so the overall canopy still looks natural. And when you have the dragon on it, the effect just looks so dramatic and pleasing, to really be hampered by some relatively inconsequential tree trunks. The bulk of this dragon casts a very beautiful shadow on the trees, further emphasizing the bulk of this impressive creature as it blocks out the sun. Sorry for that cut. I realized I had to change to a lower angle because the angle I had it before, the angle I had the camera before, wouldn't really adequately capture the magnificence of this animal. There we have everything assembled together, and I must say that this is a very, very impressive dragon to have. On my dragon, the angle of the pole is such that you can either have him flying upwards, or if I were to do a 180-degree turn like that, have him seemingly swooping downwards. Either one of them looks good, and really the angle will be up to you. My preference is down. I like the idea of a dragon that swoops down on something. And you can angle the wings slightly, although like mine is really loose on the left wing. Might have to apply some I think it's Vaseline to tighten that joint a little bit. And I'm going to go for the widest spread possible because I think it looks just great. But if you look at the entire attitude of this animal, the outspread wings that aren't constrained by having to be in a small bubble box, the shape of the main body, and then each of the individually shaped and posed fingers and toes, there really isn't any angle that would look bad at all. A magnificent, real six-limbed dragon, no wyverns, thank you very much. Dramatic posture of the entire beast from nose to tail. What I consider the ideal wing spread and a base that provides a visual context as to the size and majesty of this creature. I really do think, considering all the dragons that have gone before and knowing about all the dragons that are coming after, that this is my absolute favorite dragon of the entire McFarlane series. So there you have it. Series 5 McFarlane, the Series 5 Eternal Dragon. You know, actually guys, I'm going to take a couple of minutes just to say a few words. You know, this dragon in flight reminds me of the recent tragedy with the QZ8501 flight. And really what a terrible year 2014 has been, or was. You know, lots have happened. Russia, Ferguson in the States, the 3 airline disasters that strike so close to my home. And in all these events, I can't help but think about the loved ones left behind, and the anguish it must be to have lost people you love. I've personally lost a lot too, more than I could ever have imagined possible coming into the new year. You know, when we set New Year resolutions, we often think about goals to achieve, things to do. And I think that we sometimes forget that our relationships are also important enough for us to set goals for. I don't mean in the sense that, hey, you know, I'm going to chase after this girl, or I'm going to hook that guy, but the precious people already in your life, some which you may have taken for granted. You know, I suggest that this year, as you write your resolutions, include some that have impact on your relationships, because the people you love the most may not always be there forever. And you know, in one flash you could lose them. I've learned that in the hardest way possible. You don't want to be regretting things not done or words not said. So anyway, that's enough pontificating for now. Next time, I think I'll be reviewing one of my dinosaurs. I know I don't review many, but this being the new year, I thought I might kick it off with one dragon and one dino. So till next time, take good care, my friends, and may your dreams take off, your hopes soar high, and your achievements reach out and touch the sky this year. Happy New Year!